Hello everybody and welcome. We are now reaching the end of July and it's hot everywhere. Everywhere. That's all you read about in the news or you hear on TV in the news is the extent of the heat across this country and the droughts and everything else. So I figure this is an appropriate time to talk about hydration and more specifically water filters. What I've been using over the years, what I feel are the best water filters, and let me give you my ideas on this. When I first started backpacking and hiking like everybody else, I got on YouTube or did my research and found out what water filters seem to work for everybody. So there's one in particular, everybody knows what it is, and it seems like everybody had used it at the time and it worked great. And I figured, well, if it didn't kill them, it probably won't kill me. So I've been using it over the years, but there are other options out there, and maybe one in particular that may be better. So I'm going to talk about my favorite two water filters, and I'm also going to give an honorable mention to one other one, and we'll see where that leads us. So I want to say this about water filters. I know that there's people out there that want to experiment and try out new ones here and there. That's not for me. I'll let let them do the experimenting. If there's one thing that I want to make sure I have, and that is clean water. And you don't necessarily only have to be a backpacker to have a water filter. I mean, if you're out camping, you're in an RV, you're in a van life type situation, even at home here this day and age, I would always keep some kind of water filtration system around just in case of emergency. Maybe that's the prepper coming out in me. So let's go over some of these water filters. First one, and probably the most popular when I first backpacked, everybody seems to use this and still does, and that is the Sawyer Squeeze. In my opinion, I would say this is a 90, maybe 85% reliable water filter. It does, not that it doesn't filter out all the harmful bacteria and things, but it can clog on you. And over a period of time, if not backflush properly, it will clog up on you. Now, I had a fairly new one that I had taken on a trip. I was out with some other YouTubers and backpackers, and this completely did not work. Not this particular one, but one like it did not work. I even tried backflushing and everything and could not get it to flow. I came home, worked on it, and I could not get it to flow. Now that was one in many, many of these that I've owned that's happened to. Another time I brought one out and the flow rate was just really slow. Now the flow on these when you get them brand new is great. I mean, you can fill up, I usually take one of these C-Knock bags, and it fits on here perfectly. This I'll use for dirty water, and just squeeze this down into a clean water bottle. So that has worked. You can use it as a gravity. There's attachments that come with it that you can use it and hang it from a tree for a gravity flow. But all in all, I think the downfall on this is hopefully it won't clog on you. You can take a smart water bottle with the smart water end here, and you can backflush it with that. That being said, it did not work for me once, but I have used this everywhere, and it has filtered my water, and knock on wood or whatever, I have not gotten sick from any of those places. So this is probably one of the lightest, most handiest water filter. You can carry it around with you. Don't let it freeze, and don't crush it or it's useless. So that's that. Then Sawyer has another product that I use, and that is this mini. Now the mini is very slow on the flow, but what I use this for, especially when I'm up in like the Smokies and stuff like that, I can just take and fill up a small bottle for dirty water, screw this onto a regular bottle, keep this in my backpack, and as I'm going along, I'll just fill this bottle up out of a stream, pop this baby on here, and be able to drink out of it without having to sit there and squeeze water and all that. So I carry this as an extra filter with me on pretty much every trip that I go on, not only as a backup, but like I just explained, as something like that. Then Sawyer came out with a micro. Okay, useless, slow. Where were their marketing and engineering behind that whole thing? So anyway, if you're going to go with Sawyer, you know, go with this just for your occasional use, and go with this one as far as your everyday use. But just please make sure you backflush it, and keep it safe, and you'll be good to go with this filter. So let's talk about another one that I think now may be my new favorite. Okay, what is maybe my new favorite? And that is the Katadyn Be-Free. And the flow rate on this filter is fantastic. It just flies out, and you don't have to wait and do a lot of squeezing like with the Sawyer Squeeze. It filters water perfectly, and I like this little 1 liter container when I'm out doing just little small hikes and stuff like that. I can just go ahead and fill up a 1 liter bottle with this really quickly, scoop up another liter, and fill up about 2 if I want to have 2 bottles. And the filter are all, you can buy these separately, individually. I do want to mention that Amazon at one time was selling, and they've been out of stock now for what, 4 or 5 months maybe, but it's kind of like a little filter over a filter that takes and filters out any sediment that may come inside the filter here. So you can see that this filter here has all these holes. This goes over top of that. You screw it in. It really doesn't affect the water flow at all, but it does keep out the sediment from coming into your filter and clogging this up. So that's the Be-Free with the 1 liter. But now there's also, comes in a nice little package. I'll show you what's in here, but everything in here, including the case, comes to, I think it was 8 ounces. And it's not very much, but it's all inclusive. What you got in here is a complete, even has instructions. You've got the filter, and you've got a quick release on this filter right here. It's the same exact filter, but it comes in a quick release little attachment right here. If you're watching, you can hear this. And then you got yourself, you hang this from a tree, and you got yourself a gravity feed, which you can turn on and off with this little clip. That would shut it off. Then you just go pop it out, let the water flow. When you fill up a bottle, you just squeeze it. This is 3 liters. This is a camp size. You could actually provide water for pretty much everybody at camp by just going and filling this up and leaving it hanging in a tree. This whole system right here is fantastic. It may be my new favorite when it comes to going out on short hikes and with the van and everything. But you know, even at 8 ounces, I would take this on a backpacking trip, no problem whatsoever. So the Katadyn Be-Free 3 liter bag with the gravity flow, possibly my new favorite. Folds up real nice and fits inside this little carrying case. There's the 1 liter, and you got the 3 liter. So good job on the Be-Free. You'll probably see me using that more often on the trail and through my van. So I did mention there is one honorable mention as a filter. All right, let's talk about that honorable mention. This is a water filter that I do not own. I have seen it in use, and it's called the Grayl, Grayl. And my friend Andy from Metro on the Move, He did a great video on this, very thorough job on reviewing it. He loves his filter, and I'll put a link below to that. So anyway, this is a 24 ounce type of press filter, what I know of it. And it does that 24 ounces within 8 seconds. It, unlike other filters like Sawyer and Be Free, it cuts out a lot of viruses, which I don't think those other filters do, like a norovirus, very prevalent on the trail. Certain protozoas that are prevalent on the trail that the Sawyer and Be Free don't, and that's like a Giardia. Most bacterias. It also filters out chemicals such as like arsenic and some of these other chemicals that you'll see, chlorine, things like that. Also some metals, lead. It also will take out, particulates like silk and stuff like that also. So it does seem to do a better filtering job than these other ones. It's safer. The water would be to drink. In this day and age, maybe we want to go to something like that. So would I buy it? I don't know at this point. It's 24 ounces of water. It's kind of bulky. It costs $100. You get 65 gallons or 250 liters, which is like 350 presses on it. And then you have to buy a new filter, which costs $30 if I'm not mistaken. So, but would I buy? I think I would like to have one of these in the van, and where I'm around some sketchy water where I want to make sure that I'm filtering it properly. It's probably even something really good to keep at home and have that on available to you for kinds of emergencies that your city water or your water may be tainted in some way. This may work for that. So other than that, there's all sorts of water filters out there, guys, from Aquamira drops all the way up to if you want to get a nice Berkey to put into your house or van. There's a lot of things out there. These are the ones that I would recommend. They're the ones that I've used other than the Grayl, but I've seen it used. So anyway, stay hydrated this year, guys. Stay cool this hot summer. Have a great summer, though. And next week I'll be out on the kayak doing a fishing trip where I got a new camera set up on it and the drone going and all. We'll see how that works out. So anyway, guys, thank you for following Walker's World. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.